how you doing? I got myself a new instrument. Okay. Jeez, I'm sorry. I'm probably running late. I've been fighting with these damn computers the whole day. Shoot. Anyway, hi. I am glad that you joining me in this live session. I am Dr. Kelly. I am a board certified psychiatrist, neuropsychiatrist, and I am glad you joining me to have a very important conversation. It is about the well-being of Black women, the mental well-being of Black women like you. Okay, and what do you need? You are a joyful warrior, like Kamala Harris said. Okay, but what do you need? What are the brain tools you need? What are the brain tools you need in your war chest? What are the brain tools you need in your war chest, in your arsenal, to not only to um to become a joyful warrior, but to maintain the state of mind of a joyful warrior. Okay. So the reason I'm talking about it is because you may be struggling with things to do for yourself, meaning that when it comes to wellness, there are three things I say that you need to live a good life. Three things: good health, mental and physical, financial stability, financial wealth, and the proper relationship with yourself and the people who form your community. I call it a supportive community, including yourself. Those three things, guys, they are absolutely important for you to live a good life as a Black woman. So they've done a research. They found that more than 90% of your well-being, your happiness, or lack thereof, more than 90% of it depends on only one of those three. You know what it is? The relationship you have with yourself and the supportive community or lack thereof, the supportive community that you have. So, in order for you to live a good life, as a busy Black woman who sometimes you feel you're battling everyone, you name it, microaggression, systemic racism, sexism, um, even your own family. In fact, they didn't realize that the people sometimes that get you, that wants to fight you most are the people closest to you. So how do you deal with those stuff to make sure that you not only maintain the relationship that gives you your life meanings, but also how do you create the space you need so you can breathe, so you can rest and digest? Because the brain can only create wealth. The brain can only you can only maintain your health mentally and physically only if you are on the rest and digest part of the central nervous system. So being a joyful warrior, you need to know what brain tools you need to go to battle, to know when to defend, when to go on offense, or when to stay put. You need to know the brain tools, and also you need to know the environment. For instance, I have been telling my patients, I've been realizing that too. We take it for granted that the past 100 years have seen the fastest changes in human society, meaning that we have changed the way we live so fast that your brain's having a hard time keeping up with it. And when it's having a hard time keeping up with it, it's trying to adapt. Then it sees those things as physical threat. I see physical danger. That's how your brain has evolved. So sometimes you may be blaming yourself. It's your fault that you cannot do one more of the 300 things that you've already done. It's not that. It's because the brain is trying to adapt to a new environment, and it can see things as physical threat. And when it does that, it releases chemicals in the form of stress hormone, catecholamine, what we call norepinephrine, all these good stuff. That can cause you to have headache, stomach ache, physical symptoms, psychological symptoms, make you feel overwhelmed and stressed out. It's your brain trying to keep you safe and protect you. sometimes, unfortunately, you think that you're doing something wrong because you've been ingrained to attach your work to productivity, how much you do for people, how much people appreciate you, but it's not that. So, how do you make sure that you become aware that's nothing that you're doing wrong, but also how do you negotiate your brain in the new environment for you not only to survive but to thrive? Okay, so as we going moving on towards getting the first black female president, we on this road to maintain, to become, to live the life, a full life. You are on your road, your journey to live a full life of being a joyful warrior. Okay? So the goal, me as a neuroscientist, physician, healer, is I am on a mission to make sure that black women like you, busy black women who sometimes feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulder, to make sure that you not only have the tools, but you know how to use them, when to use them, at your disposal, at your they're accessible to you, so you can live your life fully. And so, if you're gonna live your life fully, the 7 to 8 chronic illnesses that are affecting you and the rest of us, we can absolutely reduce, prevent more than 90% of them, which are obesity, diabetes, and the psychological load that you're carrying. So that's what I want you to join me with. And together we can make sure that women, but black women like you, not only survive, but you can thrive. Okay? So join me, follow me. I'm bringing some new stuff. The brain tools you need to put in your war chest, in your arsenal, if you call it. So you can become, if you're not yet, but also if you are, to maintain the life of the mind, the state of mind of being a joyful warrior. Okay? Join me, follow me, invite other people to follow me. Together, if black women are thriving, then the rest of us will be thriving. I know that for a fact because I would not be here if it weren't for that. Most of us, almost all of us, would not be here if it weren't for that. Okay? So we need to make sure that you take care of your mental wellness, your mental well-being, so you can have the space you need to breathe, rest, and digest. So you not only survive, but you can thrive. Okay? So I will be coming with some new stuff. Just be on the lookout. I'll let you know. And together we can do this. Okay? I say that the next human revolution is here. I um I stay in my office talking to my patients all the time. I said, look, if the rest of us know that you have a brain that can create the life that you want. You have all the machinery, but the people control the world. All people around you are making sure that you stay small, that you don't realize you have the space you need. You don't have to be working 9 to 5. None of us. You can live the life you desire, and we can always work with, collaborate, cooperate. But the time has come for whoever so chooses. You don't have to work 9 to 5. Okay? It's by understanding how your brain works, understanding what environment you need to create the space for your brain to thrive, and to know what brain tools. We have the knowledge, guys. We have the knowledge. The goal is for you to join me, for us to talk about what brain tools you need. And the other thing I'm saying that I was telling someone, faith is important, wisdom is important. But guess what? Because you have a body, it's biological and physiological. You cannot have a good relationship with God, with Jesus, if you don't have the proper relationship with your own body. You cannot have a proper relationship with the spiritual world. It has to go through you, meaning that you have to know what healthy food to eat, either the anti-inflammatory that cause inflammation, because most of the illnesses that we have some inflammatory processes. You have to know what to smell, what to see, what are things that for you to touch, to taste. All our five senses, they provide information to make the behaviors and habits that you rely on to live your best life. And guess what? More than 90% of our behavior, your behaviors and habits are unconscious. It's only 10% of it that you have access to. When you get up, the people who are doing well, 10% of people can become mindful, intentional, and purposeful about what behaviors and habits that you are producing and what environment that are suitable and are not suitable for you to either maintain those behaviors or add on them or undo them. That's the whole thing, okay? But to become mindful, and purposeful, that's a science. It's a science behind it. I actually, I have been telling myself, and I have gained an expertise in the past 4 or 5 years because of black women who sit in my office to explain their emotional lives, what are the things that are holding you up. And so I've been interested in neuroplasticity, what we call the ability to rewire your brain. So I read, but I go into my office and tell people, okay, we need to write this, we need to try this. Guess what? I have been able to help people who have been dealing with things for 28, 30 years, who have been able to shift perspective. And they're not only, it's not easy, okay? It can be uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. But the alternative, I tell my patients, like it happened to my mother and some women I know, is death. The alternative is heart disease. The alternative is stroke. The alternative, they all come from chronic stress and chronic inflammation. They are from internal mental load. Guess what? That doesn't have to happen to you. You can live your life fully, still care about people. What we can learn to do, how do you block? How do you put boundaries? The people that you need to well, get rid of, you get rid of them. Because here's what I say. Once you align your core values, people, places, and things that are not aligned with them, they will not serve you anyway. Okay, so the revolution as a joyful warrior is for you to become aware, for you to get the brain tools you need, so you not only survive but you can thrive. Okay, so join me, follow me. This is a safe space for you not only to learn about how your brain works, but to get the brain tools you need in this 21st century so you can thrive. Again, I'm going to tell you, if you see you get up, you think you're feeling stressed out, you're feeling overwhelmed, don't blame yourself. It's because we have changed the way human beings live, especially pre-COVID, after COVID. Let me give you an example. Before COVID, I never saw one page. I never used Zoom. Damn it. I never use Zoom. And sometimes I'm irritated the fact that now 80%, 90% of my patients are on Zoom. That's crazy. And people don't realize that you cannot get the same vibe, the same feelings with me being on this. Of course, I appreciate technology because I can reach people that I wouldn't otherwise be able to reach, like even 5 years ago. So where technology can be put to good use, we have to use it. It can be a form of progress, but we also have to be aware where it helps, where it's not helping you to maintain your health mentally and physically, to get you disconnect with yourself and the people you care about, where it's not helping you to maintain your finances, where it's not helping you to maintain the supportive community, not so much on the screen, but in real life, physical presence. When it's not helping us to form behaviors and habits to do those things, to encourage you, then that part of technology is not going to do you well. It's not going to serve you. So, as a brain scientist, as a neuroscientist, that's my wheelhouse to understand how things are going, what's going on, and my unique, the unique perch I'm sitting in. I've done something very few people, I have to say. I've done something very few people have done. I, uh, I've sacrificed the past 15 years to spend 3, 4 days a week. All I do is think deeper. So, if you have thought about something, I have actually spent 5 hours about it more than you. It's not because I'm smart because I have taken the time. But I find it to be my life calling to actually go into different subjects in life and think about it. Of course, now my passion has been is definitely brain science, neuroscience, and how to use the brain to live your best life. So that's what my wheelhouse is. But we all have knowledge. We all have wisdom. We just some of us have different knowledge and some different wisdom. Then that's my area. I have taken the time to spend a lot of times, and now I want to help you to live your best life because you have all the machinery, you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge. You just need to be aware of how to negotiate yourself in this new environment, a fast changing environment that can sometimes make you feel stressed out and overwhelmed. And when you feel stressed out and overwhelmed, what's going on with your brain, it's not making the right decision, okay? So I'll leave you with that. Be kind to yourself. Again, I will be talking about what are the brain tools you need as a joyful warrior to put in your war chest so you can live your best life beyond your imagination. Be kind to yourself. I'll see you until next time. Take care. Bye.